Welcome to the Robert C. Williams Museum of Papermaking Paper Play Activities. Here in Georgia, where our museum is located, May is the start of strawberry season. So today, we'll be learning how to make origami strawberries. For today's activity, we will need red tissue paper that's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, green origami paper that's also 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. You can also use copy or construction paper, but do keep in mind that the thinner the paper is, the easier it'll be to fold our origami strawberries. A glue stick. You can also use liquid glue, but because it is liquid, you're going to have to smooth out the wrinkles a lot more than you would with a glue stick. A black Sharpie, and a large or heavy object to place on top of our paper. Now for our papers and our glue, we can substitute this with some strawberry origami paper, which is red on one side and green on the other. But since these are a bit difficult to find, we're going to be making our own. So first we're going to create our strawberry paper. So I'm just going to start gluing on my green paper first because our tissue paper is a bit more fragile. So I'm just going to apply glue to my green paper and then place my tissue paper right on top. And whether you're using a glue stick or liquid glue, make sure that you're only applying a thin layer of glue so that we don't have much space between our green paper and our tissue paper. After you've applied the tissue paper on top, check the edges to see if they need any more glue. If so, you can just reapply. Once we're all done, we're going to take our heavy object and place it on top of it for about 5 to 10 minutes so that our paper won't curl up. Now that our paper has been dried fully, it's time to fold our strawberries. So first, I'm just going to fold up to the top into a rectangle. Do the same thing on the other side. We should have 4 squares right now. And now I'm going to do the same thing except fold it into a triangle. So now you should see 8 distinct triangles. Now I'm going to flip it so that my green side is on top. Fold down so that my red paper is showing on the outside. And then just push towards the middle so that I create a diamond shape. So it was a rectangle before. I'm just going to push, and it should fold along our diagonal lines that we just folded earlier. So it should fold inside here as well, and come together to form a diamond. I'm just going to flip it over so that I have my open flaps on one side. I'm going to bring up one of the flaps and open it up just a bit and then push down so that it creates another triangle. Now when I do this, I want to make sure that the line on my red paper matches the line on my green paper. So I have a straight middle line. I'm going to do this 3 more times on the rest of my flaps. Once I folded down all my flaps, I'm going to bring one flap over so that all I see is just red paper. So now I'm just going to change to a bigger sheet of paper so that it's easier to see what's happening here. So once we have just our red paper facing us, I'm going to fold up on our wider edges. So I'm going to fold the wide edges towards the middle so that it matches up along this middle line, that middle crease that we have here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to repeat this on all 4 of our red flaps. Once we finish folding all of our flaps, I'm going to flip it over so that my green paper is pointing towards the top and my red paper is towards the bottom. And I'm going to fold down each of my green flaps all the way as far as they can, or up until our red paper, these 2 corners right here. So fold them down, and I'm going to fold down all 4 of my green flaps. These will become our leaves for our strawberry. So once we've folded down all of our green flaps, we're going to unfold it or fold it in a way so that only our red paper is showing, just like last time. And I'm going to flip it upside down once again so that our narrow edge is pointing towards the top. And just like last time, we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to fold our bottom edges right here towards the middle. And just repeat that on all 4 sides of our red paper. Once we fold down all of our edges, we're now going to unfold our leaves. So our leaves are in between our red flaps right now, but we're just going to lift them up just enough so that they're poking out of our flaps, but not too far out to where they undo the folds that we just did. So there are our 4 leaves. Now all we have left to do is to blow into our strawberry. Before we do so, we're first going to have to divide our flaps, our red flaps, into 4s. So I'm going to divide it into 4 groups and hold on to 2 with each of my fingers, and then blow into my strawberry here in our opening at the top. If we don't do this, it's possible that when we blow into our strawberry, we might blow into it a bit too hard and our opening is going to open up this wide, which is not as pretty as our other one where we did hold on to our flaps and blew into it. And here you can even see the flaps I held onto. So I held onto these 2, then blew into it, and it blew up into a nice little strawberry. So now I'm just going to blow into my strawberry while holding on to my flaps. And here we have our strawberry. Now all we have left to do is to decorate it, and this is totally optional, with our Sharpie to draw on some seeds. So I just like to draw on my seeds after I blow into my strawberry because then I get to see exactly where my seeds are going. But if you want to draw them on before you even start folding, that is totally fine. And that's it. We've made our origami strawberries. We hope you enjoyed this activity, and thank you again for joining us for Paper Play.